Hello, good day to you all. My name is Elohor Enakimoney and you're welcome to Ellys YouTube Channel. Like I like to say it, you're welcome to my channel. So today we'll be making the famous Banga soup, palm kernel soup, but the Delta style. So let's get right into this video. Forgive me, I couldn't find a video of me washing the banga and putting it on the fire. But then I got, and this is where I started from. So you wash the banga, put it on the fire and add a little salt to taste. And then you check from time to time if it's ready. And when it's ready, it will be soft. The palm nut will be soft, so it will be, when you press it, your hands will go right in. That's the point you know it's ready. Just like this. Now that it is soft and ready for the next step, we're just going to bring it out, extract the entire water from it, and then start pounding. Please note that you have to pound based on the size of your mortar. If you have a big mortar and all of the palm nuts can go right in it, by all means pound at once if you can. But if you know you don't have a big mortar, please pound it little by little and then get hot water by the side to extract it, because when it gets cold, it becomes difficult to extract the liquid. But in this case, we are pounding it twice. We're pounding in two different places. We shared in two different places, and that's how we're pounding it. A shout out to Jessica. She almost threw all my palm nuts away. All right. So you just pound and then she's even playing with the pounding. Okay. You pound and then when it's time to extract, you get lukewarm water, not really very hot because of your hand. And on a second note, if you do have a food processor, you can use it to blend this palm nut. I'll make another video where I'll try to use a food processor to extract the juice of the palm nut. Now we're just going to save, like I told you before. This water here is a lukewarm water. It's not hot. I boiled hot water and I combined it with cold water, and then it's lukewarm. So that way your hand will be able to tolerate the heat. And then when you wash, make sure to sieve twice or thrice depending on the outcome at the bottom of the pot, because you get some seed underneath it. Some of those, the head of the palm nut, the black part, you get it underneath your what's it called, underneath the liquid. So you want to avoid that, and you want to avoid every shaft from the palm nut itself. So you have to sieve like twice or thrice depending on how clean it is on time. So for this one, we actually sieved twice. When we're done sieving, we'll just take it straight to the fire. Since this is our final sieving, from here we're taking it to the fire. Now that it's on the fire, you allow it to boil and then cook. And in order to do that, you have to cover it and allow it to boil very well. Note that freshly made banga boils and then bubbles to the top and possibly pour over the pot if you cover it like this, and you have to cover it so that it can boil fast. So in order to avoid that, you have to be vigilant. You have to wash it. You have to pay close attention to it to make sure that when it's time for that to happen, you're going to have to remove the lid, the cover, so that it doesn't pour off and make a mess of everything. I had to leave it so that you will see an example of what I'm talking about. This is how it gradually comes up, and then if you're not careful, it's just going to spill all over the place. But I'm leaving it so you can see that it's still going to come up. it's still going to come up. Till you remove it, it's just going to come up and then spill and make a mess. So at this point, it's time to remove it. So I'm just going to remove it, and immediately it settles. Can you see now? Now it settles, and then you allow it to boil from here. It's not yet ready. Now, how do you know when the palm nut is ready? You know when it's ready when there's oil on top. The oil will be showing on top. When we get to that point, I will show you what it's like. The oil will be on top, it will be boiling, and then you will see a little bit of oil. Now we can find, yes, at this point we're there. It's no longer just ladder. These are oil on top floating, and you can see also by the side of the pot this oil. At this point, your banga, your palm nuts is ready for ingredients and proteins to come in, all of the spice and seasoning to come in at this point. But if you find out that yours is still light and you want to make it thicker, you can still allow it boil very well. You can see what I'm talking about. It's no longer just ladder. These are oil floating on top of the soup. So because mine is not as thick as I want it to be, I'm still going to leave it to boil. Now it's going to boil. You notice by the side that it's drying and it's boiling. And at this point, I can start adding my spices and seasoning and then protein to it to get my soup to perfection. At this point, we're going to add our spices. This is the spices that just went in. I don't know what the English name is, and I'm going to look for it and add it to the description box. The local name is Rogoje and Taiko. That's the local name that I know. So we're just going to add that, and then, like I said, we're adding the spices and seasoning. So this is onion. For the Delta Banga soup, onion, crayfish, and this local spice that I just called is what you need to get the soup to perfection. So you see that the much onion I added to it, some people even add more. Some people cut and then they grind. I'm just going to use grinded one because any other thing I want to see has to be the protein. I don't want sliced onions on it. So this is pepper. I'm not really a pepper fan. I don't like lots of pepper. So I just do it moderately, especially if I'm not using catfish. And for this soup, I'm using dry fish, so no much pepper needed. So add all of that and then allow it to boil. You know that this soup is back up because I've added some liquid like the pepper and the onion. Those are contain liquid, so the soup is back up. So we have to allow it boil and dry a little before we add our protein and our seasoning. If you have watched to this point, I really do appreciate you. If you're a new subscriber or this is your first time of seeing my video, I love you. Thank you for staying true to this point. Please do subscribe, like, comment, and share, and join this happy family of healthy lovers. And also, if you are an old subscriber and you've been here time and time again, you really do know I love you, but I'll keep saying it to reassure you that I do love you. Thank you. Now this soup has gotten to the point where I want to add my protein, that was my seasoning, and I'm just going to add salt and then our crayfish before we add all of our protein that we need for this soup. So let's get to it. Firing up. Now I'm going to add my crayfish. A lot of crayfish. As you can see, a lot of crayfish is needed for this soup to go well, to cook to perfection. And then because I like my soup to be thick, I'm just going to allow it to dry a little more. Stir. You can see I'm trying to see if it's thick, but it's not in my eyes. If it's okay with you like this, you can add your protein right away and allow to simmer and then drop it. But For me, it's not. So I have to allow to dry a bit, to boil and dry a bit before we go ahead to add every other thing, which is the protein and the leaf, by the way. At this point, the aroma is all over my house and it's giving everything that is meant to give. I don't like that statement. I don't know why I like using it. Okay. Now, if you notice, outside of my plate, I just added fish in it, a dry fish. I have two different type of dry fish I'm adding to this soup, and this is another. Hi, the taste of this soup. Oh, I know you want to join in, but then I do not know where you're viewing from. I can offer to actually send some, but I don't know where you're viewing from. So if you're interested, just send a DM. The meat has already been parboiled, but it's dry fish, so I need it to get a feel of, or rather, I need it to be soaked in the soup and a seasoning so that it's gonna taste sweet as well before adding the meat. Now I just add a combination of bitter leaf and the local leaf we call benetete to make this soup even better. I'm going to cover up and then allow to boil. You can see what it looks like right now. Just imagine what my house smells like. Oh my god. Now just stir and then see what it's like. Taste it for seasoning, check for seasoning and salt, and then you can just go in and add our protein, our meat. We've added some protein already. We're going to add our beef, but more assorted, anything we're adding. This is the meat, we're just going to add it and then allow this to cook and simmer for a few minutes, and then we are good to go. Your food is ready. Just look at this. Oh my god. Look, take a good look at this. Wow, it's amazing. And the taste is even better than it looks, I assure you. So we're just going to cover it now, allow to simmer, and then our food is ready. And I can't even wait for this to get dried before I even test it. Or everyone in this house is drooling, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to serve this like that and then enjoy. So this is the end of the video. Thank you. I really do appreciate you. To new subscribers, to new first-time viewers, to old subscribers, I really do appreciate you and I love you. Thank you for staying true to the end with me. Till next time, I'm still your girl, Ellor Enakimoney. Bye.